This tutorial is all about adding or editing post content. Now, post content could be anything from news, blog items, to something specific for your website, like case studies or portfolio or similar. Post content tends to look like in a post format layout. So if I click on the news page here, you'll see this post format layout shows a thumbnail, a title, a small amount of text, and usually something to click through to read more. This is because the posts are stored and pulled into this area and means they can be pulled into other areas like other specific pages or your homepage to show the latest news. To edit or add these, head into your website admin area and you will see your menu down the left hand side like this. Now, this will usually be called posts or news or case studies or whatever it is you're looking for. Here it's called posts. Then you will see a list of all your current posts or content within that area. The most likely scenario here is that you want to add a new one, and the best way of doing this is to duplicate one that's already there and use that layout. That's because it keeps it consistent for your users, makes them feel at home and user friendly, so everything looks in sync through your website. So to do that, we can hover over this and click duplicate this. Now you'll see it's created a post as a draft. We want to give it a new title, so we'll do that via a quick edit here. Call it new news item. The slug is what it will appear like in the browser, so / something. So if we wanted to appear that as / news item new, that's what would show in the browser. Now, if you're adding news or post items here that are of a blog variety or case study variety, it's always worth considering what would people type into Google and thinking about your search engine optimization to get that into the news title here and into that slug area, because this is what Google looks at to determine what a page is first about. So if I click update there, now we can see there it is, still as a draft, and I can go to edit. Now you might see edit or edit with Elementor again. If you don't see edit with Elementor and you do want to use that functionality, you can first click edit, then click this edit with Elementor button up here, and this loads our Elementor editor. You can see here we've got a set structure already as a layout. I can click on that to edit the content, click on that to edit this section, or we might just want to remove that section entirely. So I can right click on that and do delete. So now that's gone, you can see it's left a blank section up there, which we can also delete, or we can drag these items around and say, well, let's put that up there. Now, usually with post content, there'll be a thumbnail that's automatically pulled in, and that will be pulled in when you post the link to social media. It'll be pulled in if it's generated on another area of the website, and it's that little one that always shows in the block. As you can see, that thumbnail here is automatically shown there, but we can't edit that because that's being pulled from the thumbnail. Depending on your website, you might not see it in your content here, but it will always be shown somewhere, so it's always good to edit. To change that thumbnail, we can go up to here and go to post settings, and here you will see it's called a featured image. We can choose one from your current library or upload a new one. So let's select one that's already there, and you'll see now that has changed the featured image there. It won't have updated there yet, but when I do update the page or publish this, it will change there as well. Now this will be the image that's shown everywhere whenever you see the little section of that post, as I showed you as an example. If you head back to the news page on the main area of the website, this is the featured image. So you can see the one we duplicated was using the flower, and that's what's being shown there. So if I go back to edit this now, you can see you can add more content or keep it as it is. The news item title will normally automatically be pulled at the top there, but you can edit that as well. If I click publish, now that new news item will go live. So now let's head back to the front end of the website. And if I go over to news, and you'll see there it is, the new news item with the featured image we selected. Dummy text there, to click to read more, and that's the one we just created. So when you create those, unlike pages, you don't have to go and add them into the menu, they will automatically go into the posts section of wherever they should be. We always recommend not deleting your previous posts because they will filter down and they always help get found on Google, unless there's something obviously that you really need to delete. And you can always go back and edit them as well. In the same way, on this page, you can see there's the edit with Elementor button at the top there. I can click that and it'll go straight into edit that news item. Now, some people like to create a series of news posts in one go and set them to automatically go out at certain dates. So, for example, if we wanted to make that post say Merry Christmas but not go out until the 25th of December, rather than clicking Edit with Elementor, the easiest way to do that is just click Edit here. So save it as a draft after you've created it, go back into here and we can go to Publish On and we can change the date. So we could say December the 25th. If I click OK, that post will not go live until that specific date, and then it will automatically appear on your website. Now, some of your posts may have categories. For example, you might have different categories of news items. Here we can see that one is just uncategorized. So let's edit that and call it News and News Update. Now we might want to create another category that's called PR. So let's go back to categories, add a new category called PR. Again, slug is always what will appear in the browser. You could give it a parent category, so we could say that would sit under news, or if we don't choose a parent, it will be its own category of its own right. Click Add Category, and now we can go back to Posts, and if I click Edit on the post, down the right hand side here, you can see it automatically goes to news, but we might say we want this in PR. You may have categories on your website, you may not, but if you do, that's a useful way of just ticking down the right hand side here which category they should go into. So that's your guide to adding new post style items. Have a play around with it, add new ones. You can always delete them if you get it wrong and try again. But once you've done it a few times, it's really easy to do. And it's a great way of keeping your website updated. So when Google sends its bots out to crawl your website, they see there's fresh new content and it helps keep you fresh up the rankings.